This scene is between two attorneys, Jennifer and Damien, who used to be dating but are now just working together on a case. Damien's ego is having a hard time with the fact that Jennifer is seeing other people, but he's not the kind of person who admits defeat, even to himself. Jennifer is busy looking for the deposition.
So, where do you go from here?
I get a subpoena to make them cough up, and I'll be back in court before hot pants in the morning.
Jennifer, are you sure you're... Never mind.
No, tell me.
Well, your fantasy.
You're still thinking about that. You know, you're not in it anymore, anyway.
That's not where I was going.
Where were you going?
Jennifer. Jen. Can I still call you Jen? The thing is, it's really great when a person has a healthy fantasy life and is really in touch with her or his dreams. You know, it shows depth.
$5 if you can spell that word.
But just so you know, I'm not judging you or anything.
Jennifer frowns and shakes her head.
Anyway, I'll be...
He turns and leaves.
It was nice to see him again, huh?
Who?
Mike.
Oh, him. He's, you know, just a friend.
Oh, okay.
He leaves. There are plenty of subtle opportunities for motivated movement in this scene. To start, Jennifer's movement comes from a mixture of discomfort regarding the case and a desire to become less personal with Damien, who's being a bit obnoxious. In any case, she wants to stay busy, and the script also says that she's looking for a deposition, so the first thing we'll do is create a couple of marks she can move between. We'll put 2 marks at either end of the table, which will be the main marks. Halfway through the scene, Damien essentially says it's okay she once had a fantasy about him, which she finds mind-boggling, so we'll place a 3rd mark in the middle for becoming curious or more personal. We'll simply label the marks 1, 2, and 3. We'll place Damien here, which puts him almost in the middle of where Jennifer needs to walk, so he clearly doesn't care that she's busy. He only has 1 movement towards the end where he walks out, but stops to shift gears, so that's 2 marks. Next, let's cover the stops. We'll start with a camera on Jennifer with Damien in the background. For covering Jennifer's movement between marks 1 and 2, we can pan this camera to transform it into a flipped over the shoulder, which we'll cover in more detail later. We'll cover Jennifer's 3rd stop with a camera here, which we're placing like this to avoid a line problem, which we'll also look at later. Back on her 1st stop, let's also place an internal shot on Damien, which we can again pan to make work for Jennifer's 1st and 2nd marks. This camera is in her path, so she'll have to move behind the camera for that take, which is fine as long as his eye line is the same. Towards the middle of the scene, where Damien's long line shows that he's completely misunderstood the situation, this is the mark she'll walk to out of curiosity or becoming more personal. So let's add a close-up here. As the scene draws to a close, we'll have her walk back to the 1st mark, which is the best covered mark. This is where Damien walks out and stops to think or feel or shift gears. We'll cover that in the same close-up as before, but let's add a matching internal reverse on Jennifer. He walks out completely, and we hold on her as she stops to reflect for a moment, after which he walks out of the frame to stay active. So as we've covered these stops in 5 cameras, let's now work on the timing of movement between the marks. All we'll do here is note the movement between the numbered marks, which is an easy and intuitive way to time it to the melody of the script. In the beginning, we'll have Jennifer start on her mark 2 in the middle and walk to mark 1 during her line to immediately make her look busy. After a little dialogue, let's have her walk to mark 3, timing the walk to end here. As Damien does his long line, we'll have her listen for a bit and then walk to the middle mark. Here she'll stay for her next line and then walk back to mark 1 in time to frown and shake her head. Damien stands awkwardly for a moment, then walks out, which is between his 2 only marks. He stops and turns for a last line, after which he walks out of the room. Finally, we'll have Jennifer stand for a bit to think and feel, and then walk out of the shot to end the scene. With that laid down, let's shoot it and cut it together.
So, where do you go from here?
I get a subpoena to make them cough up, and I'll be back in court before hot pants in the morning.
Jennifer, are you sure you're... Never mind.
No, tell me.
Well, your fantasy.
You're still thinking about that. You know, you're not in it anymore, anyway.
That's not where I was going.
Where were you going?
Jennifer. Jen. Can I still call you Jen? The thing is, It's really great when a person has a healthy fantasy life and is really in touch with her or his dreams. You know, it shows depth.
$5 if you can spell that word.
But just so you know, I'm not judging you or anything. Anyway, I'll be... It was nice to see him again, huh?
Who?
Mike.
Oh, him. He's, just a friend.
Oh, okay.